I'm standing literally right in front of the door. I think when you shop online, you don't realize, well, I don't think you realize what's all in here. So I'm going to start at the front. Kelly Barnett, one of our local customers, gave us this dress that we could display and sell. She sewed it for her daughter. And this is the tiered shelf that sits right in front of the shop windows, and a selection of patterns is on a small shelf right to the right of it. Now, before I span, let me just tell you, it's my workspace, don't hate me. Our cutting room is in a constant state of flux. So when I span this way, you're going to see it. You can see the cutting table. We've got some orders that I've been working on, and I've got some patterns laid out to photograph for online. You can see the cut shelf behind it, and you can see the boxes of all the ruffle fabric, and you can see our tables with piles of fleece remnants and some stacked notions that are waiting to be organized. And here is where we keep our jars of buttons and jelly thimbles and cord clasps, things like that. And I had moved my iPad, and so you can see my drink next to the receipt printer and a box of candy that we were selling for a school child. And then here underneath the lace is a row of single shelves. We have different collections here, all grouped together. And then when you turn around, you can see the other tiered shelves lined up along the wall. And as you notice, we've created rows. So I'll walk backwards here a little bit. Pardon me if I'm not super steady. Okay, here we go. So right here up in front, we have the Kiss the Cook line stacked next to the ironing boards that I sell for a wonderful lady here locally. And I've got my new Cosmo cameras next there. And you can see the single shelf here. We have the We Wander collection and the Princess and the Pea collection and several others right here. And you can see fat quarters laid out neatly with a bin of pin cushions. And then I've got a small mannequin with a shirt on it. And right here is our new tea collection from Studio E and the landscape collection from Andover. And you can see another single shelf with some notions stacked. I need to get better display for that, but I don't really know what to do. And another single shelf with some fabric on either side of it as well. And I'll go around. That's another angle towards the front. And then the single shelves, they're nailed together. So there's fabric on each side. And here's the new Camelot Black and Tan collection and the Wild Berry Leopard next to it. A lot of that's already sold out at the warehouse, so what I've got is what I've got. And then a relatively new Robert Kaufman line, Ashton Road, which is flippin' beautiful. And then down here we have an assortment of collections that go together. And some more prints over here. I'm going to turn around slowly. See this tiered shelf here, this front one, we call it one of our coordinate shelves. Lots of dots, lots of chevrons, houndstooth, some hexies. And then walking backwards, the second tiered shelf, more dots, more geometrics, lots of chevron, our whole solid collection. Gorgeous, really. Quatrefoils, lots of those. I like quatrefoils much better than chevron. I'm over chevron. I know that's a bad word to say, I know. I should not admit that I'm over chevron. Lots of people are not, and that is okay. Different tastes are what makes the world go round. So this third tiered shelf along the wall, I'll kind of aim directly in front of it so you can see it. Solids at the bottom, and then our whole Fairy Frost collection, some Timeless Treasures Pearl, which I dearly love. The top shelf there is all nautical, and you can see a little bit of the nautical on the quatrefoil shelf because, well, you know, there wasn't room. And the second shelf has got pirates and animals. Love that one. And then we'll go this direction. This single shelf here has my Notion display that my gentleman friend built for me. And then the shelf underneath it that doesn't look super organized right now, that's because we had to pull out the whole Brambleberry teal line as the majority of it sold out. And until we get all orders cut, I don't want it on the shelf because I don't want a local customer to fall in love, need several yards, and then I've got online orders. And then to the right of that, you can see a whole collection of Michael Miller to dots and some other bolts next to it. And here on the floor is the new Tula Pink Peached Poplin line. And you can see the new Shoe Dance line next to it from David Textiles. Super beautiful. Now before I go to that other tiered shelf over there, this is our panel shelf. There's some panels hanging for display. And we've got them stacked here. And inside there is our kitchen workroom area. And I really like the vinyl artwork here on the wall. It was a pain in the butt to put on there. And I have more vinyl artwork for walls, but I won't admit. I mean, I won't lie. Sorry. They're not up yet. I don't have time. And right here at the corner of the workroom, you can see my circular display for notions and fat quarters that are pre-packaged. Cute stuff. And then here is our remnant section. Two tiered drawer bin things from IKEA. Who does not love IKEA? If you have not been to IKEA, you should go, and soon. Okay, so I'll go back over here. This shelf here has lots of animals, all different kinds, and then we've also got some boy fabrics, sports, out of stock on a lot of sports things, some camo, and then the bottom shelf is more of a novelty shelf. Our Asian ones are there, various other things that go together. And then the other side, excuse me, that single shelf has my stripes and other novelty collections that have things that go together. You can see on the end here is what is left of the Fancy Free line. I love these dots. They are completely perfect for appliques because there's so many colors. And I love the way bolts look stacked one on top of the other. I think they look beautiful. You can probably hear in the background all sorts of beeping occasionally. That means people are dinging me online. Right here is where I keep the Star Wars and Girl Power collection. Right here in front you can see Girl Power, on the other side is Star Wars. Didn't have anywhere to put them, so that's where they ended up. We have a space issue because we have a lot of inventory, which is a good thing. And then right here you can see the other single shelves. These are the last single shelves in the shop. And right here on top is my race car collection, and then to the right of it is the law library collection with the pins and the watches underneath. And then behind it is the new Michael Miller line. There's Freak Out on top, and there's the Haunted collection underneath it. And then down here is where we keep our fall and Halloween collection, and there's more Halloween on the other side. And then down here is Paris. And there's Paris on the other side too. Okay. So I'll back up and go back here. And we've got our tubed fabrics, the pull and the chalk cloth. So this shelf here, try to back up a little bit and show you the whole shelf there. It's another novelty shelf. Everything is grouped together. So the top row has school fabrics first, then sewing, and then it starts with geeky fabrics. You can kind of see the glasses sticking out and the atoms, the Mod Geek mustaches. Looks like a school book print is out of place. That's okay. And then some cameras, the snapshot line from Riley Blake, and more fun geeky things that go together. And then the second shelf, there's a couple of novelties that go together, and then more geeky stuff. The Fantasy Geek line from Timeless Treasures, Candy Crush, Space Invaders, Fox and the Houndstooth, all kinds of good stuff. And there's the music collection. And then the rest of that second row has everything that's related to cooking. So cooking, tea party, watermelon rind fabric, dessert fabric, ice cream fabric. It's there. And then down here on the second shelf, first there's that beautiful sparkle line, the Hollywood collection from Riley Blake, and then just more novelties that go together. The Heather Ross collection from Wyndham, the Far Far Away line that everybody raved about. And then this next tiered shelf was, and I do say was, home to all of our Christmas fabric. But because, of course, Christmas has now come and gone, it is now more than just Christmas, because we don't have as much Christmas fabric in stock, obviously. So the top shelf there is Christmas. I need to straighten that shelf, as you can see. And the second shelf does have some Christmas fabric too, but then it's got our Because of the Brave line from Moda. It has our paintbrush line from Wyndham. It has a peacock line from Camelot. It has a Free Spirit line from Dina Designs that I think is just really beautiful. It's vintage birds. And then it's got our Lovebird collection from Camelot as well. And the bottom shelf has a couple of novelties, but then it's got our breast cancer, our 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, a huge Valentine's Day collection, which now you see some open spaces because we sold out of some things online, which is a wonderful problem to have. And then we also have a smattering of Easter there at the bottom. A lot of our Easter fabric is not here yet. And then this whole shelf is flannel. I am really proud of the flannel collection that we worked up. Mostly juvenile though. It's really hard to find adult flannel. Go figure. I do have the pink thread flannel in the back, the very top shelf that I really like. And then I really wanted to do something here with that, but I needed more flannel room, so the flannel got stuck there. So there's more flannel. And this shelf is what we call our not cotton shelf. I mean, obviously flannel is not cotton woven, but this shelf has all of my minky, all of my fleece, my chenille. I do have a bolt of chenille that needs to be brought back and put back here. It's got seersucker and, of course, all of my knit and all of my wide cotton from Fabric Finders. And then it's got a little bit of tulle, a little bit of interfacing. And then that back area that you see is what we call our warehouse. I do still have a warehouse in my house, in the basement. When we have larger runs of fabric, we bring what we need here, and then the overflow goes into the basement at my house. And then there's some fleece here that did not fit on the shelf. And then here's the felt. And then some sock monkey sitting on top. And then both of these two shelves that I'm going to show you, this is where was what we call our character section. Our coca is on the very bottom of this first shelf. But other than the coca and the Ella Blue Australian line, which is here from that yellow bolt all the way to the stripe. It's an Australian line. That's here, and then the coca starts with the pink musical cats that you can see. Well, I think you can only see music notes, but it's musical cat fabric. All the way over here, and then the bottom row is all coca and Cosmo. I have a really lovely supplier for my Japanese fabric, Hitomi. She is simply amazing to work with. And of course my rep, Mark Jacobs. Can't say enough good things about that man. He works with me with several designers actually. Not just my Japanese fabric, but also Michael Miller and my trim supplier, my button supplier. So then you can see on the second shelf, it starts with the Pepsi collection, and then there's the McDonald's, the Holly Hobby, Snow White, and Sesame Street, and then Legos, and then Dr. Seuss, and the list goes on. More sock monkeys at the end. There's Hungry Caterpillar, Berenstein Bears, Humpty Dumpty, Sesame Street. Then, of course, over here, lots of Angry Birds Star Wars. There's Transformers, Power Rangers, Star Trek, Disney Planes, Madagascar, Mickey Mouse, Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles, Monsters, Inc., Wizard of Oz, 101 Dalmatians, Duck Dynasty. Lots of superheroes. Since I have 3 little boys who are obsessed with superheroes, I pretty well keep a good collection of that available. And then down here is lots of girly stuff. My Little Pony, Sophia, Hello Kitty, Monster High. There's some Betty Boop, Minnie Mouse, all the princesses, of course Frozen, of course the Disney villains, Tinkerbell, Little Mermaid. Really love that collection. And then here, before I go behind me to the other single shelves that I didn't hit yet, this would be our bathroom. Nothing interesting. And then you can see our stacks of post office bins that we use for, obviously, shipping. So right here on this side, it's the only side I didn't show you yet, there's the gas leads, the rest of our Halloween fabric. Horror film fabric for sure. Not my taste, but I have to stock it because it's popular. This shelf here has the rest of our Paris fabric, as well as a couple of travel prints and a couple of British ones. And then on top is the Downton Abbey line. I don't know about anyone else, but I am so ready for the new Downton Abbey season to start. And then right here in front of that is this little section. I need to build more single shelves, or tell my wonderful, amazing gentleman friend to build them for me, or ask him, I should say. So then from this end of the shop, this is what it looks like when you're walking forward from the back.